Hi.
Hello, how are you?
How are you?
I'm good.
You are?
I'm Thomas.
Thomas.
This is Brian Fargo.
I know you. And can you explain the game or he's playing?
Yeah, sure. I'll give it a try. You want me to sit over here though?
I just
okay, got it.
have a sharpness to your distance.
Okay.
But if your eyesight is bad, we
No, I can see. I can see. I don't know what the hell's going on.
So there's a part on there.
This guy's a very special humor.
Okay, all right.
Oh, it's not humor. My wife does it.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I've heard that before. My humor gets me in trouble all the time. Okay, so should we just start talking?
Sure.
Okay, all right. So, do you remember the original Mark Stills? Okay.
The C64 version, which was unbeatable, badly unbalanced in the first hour of the game.
That was the 80s. That was beautiful, wasn't it? Well, if you hadn't heard the Bard's, I was going to end the interview right now. Okay. I'll keep going. No. So in this Bard's Tale, basically the adventurers, who are either the dwarfs or the magic users, etc., they become a persecuted lot. There's a bunch of horrible things that are happening in and around Scarborough. Hold on.
So it's set after the first 3 games.
After the first
it's not a totally new kind of story.
No. Well, I mean, no. I mean, it is after the first 3 games. You don't need to have played the first 3 games. We would never do that to somebody. But there's all the familiarity and inside information that you get had you played these games. So, you know, we love telling stories, and one of the things I think they did a great job with this is that I don't think having a large backstory and 1,000 characters makes a great story. That's not what keeps me up at Netflix at 3 o'clock in the morning, right? It's like that one little extra thing. So it's a very simple premise that gets reinforced over and over and over again. And so you get right away the sense of everybody being persecuted, including yourselves, and you're trying to figure out who are the people that are actually setting us up to make us look like the bad guys. So the other thing I wanted to do with the game was role-playing games can be very daunting. That you have to create your character, and you have to create 6 characters. So we'd start right away, no character creation, right? You talk to some people, run around, get the atmosphere, but within 5 minutes, then your creating character.
So is this Scarborough as it was imagined by the original team in some way, or is it just a made-up fantasy city?
No, so see this shirt? So this is called Mary King's Close. Have you been there to Edinburgh? So in Edinburgh, Scotland, they built the new Edinburgh over the old Edinburgh.
Okay.
Right? It's really like an old village down there, like during the plague years. So we actually went on a research trip to Scotland for making this game. We liked that idea. So the old Scarborough that you know from Bard's Tale has been built over. So when we go down below, it actually maps out to the exact...
The first dungeon level is the old overworld?
The first city is the first dungeon.
Okay.
Right. And so this is the Scarborough that's been built over the top of that. So once you get down below, you'll start to recognize landmarks and headings and that sort of thing.
So is the story about the persecution, or is that just the start to the story?
Well, it's just the story. I mean, that's your own personal story that you're dealing with, but it unfolds into a much larger thing at work, right? Which is who's behind it, and who's behind the guy that's behind it, right? And then we also there was 3 people. Mengar was the first bad guy in Bard's Tale 1, right? And then we had Lagat Xanta, and who was the 3rd one now? I forget his name. It'll come to me. Anyway, so why were they all trying to do what they were doing in Scarborough? So we're also answering some questions from the original trilogy. One of the products we get compared to in terms of like the closest from a battle perspective is Darkest Dungeon.
Okay.
Like theirs was 1D and ours is, you know.
Yeah.
But
so frontline is important?
Exactly. Frontline positioning. So that's the closest comparison that I can give.
I'm not asking where the fire comes from and how is it nurtured all the time.
Don't bother us with details.
But it looks cool.
So now we're below Scarborough. So this is the area that I was saying.
I see.
Right? Which is pretty atmospheric, right? Like I said, it's a very large game. So we hit save point. So we're not the original bar tell you to go all the way back to
the build. Yes,
we weren't going to do that to you, but we like the friction of there being risk, right? So this is, I think, a good compromise between those two worlds.
So your compromise is a save point every now and then.
That's right.
A save point that you can destroy if you want to. You can destroy it.
Why would I do that?
You get more XP when you destroy it. But then you don't save, so you're more risk for yourself.
I'll say no to the extra experience.
You can consume the points, right, instead. So the combat system, you can sneak up on them, you can charge them. So, right, which is going to give you first shot, right? So this is turn-based, or what we call phase-based combat, similar to the first one, which was you make all your turns, and then they make all their turns, our still, right? The other thing we allow you to queue up the command, so it can move very fast, right? So it never feels sluggish.
And there would be 8 slots for my characters.
6 plus you can summon creatures.
Okay.
So that would be your 8, right? Or there's, I think, a case where there's 6 and then an NPC joins your party temporarily. By and large, it's set up for 6 people, right? And then, but in a full scale, it's 8 versus 8, but then they can come in waves, right? So the original game had 4 groups and 99 berserkers. Theoretically, we could throw 400 people at you. You would hate it, but that we could do it.
But movement is not a skill-based action-like movements. For example, I couldn't pass between the wall and the little house here, I guess. That's a no pass.
That's a no pass. Yeah. There's not like a skill.
Yeah, it's just asking.
Now, later on, there's some things hanging. If you get grappling hooks, you can start climbing up on top and getting to some other areas. Don't get too far over there. You have to keep track of people's patterns, walking, very simple. Like if you don't get spotted. Okay, he knows what he's doing. If he were to get spotted at this point, it'd be lights out. So yeah, we're starting off just here below Scar Bray. We're going to go to all these forts outside. You're going to go to the Einar Islands. I mean, it's quite a large area to traverse.
So what would you say is this first dungeon in terms of percentage of the overall game world?
So, believe it or not, we don't even know exactly how long the game is, other than we know it's much bigger than we had anticipated, because we don't play like a normal person, right? We restart all the time, right? So we put the beta out, which is basically only the first dungeon, it's kind of 2 dungeons, I guess, and that was taking people 8 to 10 hours. We're like, that's only like 10 or 15% of the game. Now, I don't think it's a 100-hour game. But
like Wasteland.
No, it's not like that. But it's feeling like it's certainly 35 plus, right? It's hard to say. So this is really a very small part of it.
So I guess characters can die?
Characters can die as long as one person survives the combat, you're good to go.
Okay, and they are revived.
And then they're revived. Okay. Right? You'll have to, they'll be low on health. But
Would it make sense to exchange a member later on of your party because the new guy will not be as skilled and not have the same level and so on?
Yeah, so you'll get to an area after you get these what's called mercenary tokens, and you can swap out your characters anytime you want. Okay. So you're going to be meeting new people all along the way, or you might say, you know what, I now want to create a bar, and you can just swap them out anytime. Okay. So yes, it might make more sense.
And will they be leveled up to the party? Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to be at level, they start with a level 1 guy. No. They'll be commensurate with where you are in the game. Yeah. You know how fun it was just like manipulating and trying to find? We did the same things with the weapons in the game. See, look, so if you inspect it up close, you'll find there's like a little puzzle. And so he's going to find the right combination here. Hey, what happened? Oh, there we go. And see, and now it opened up that top, and it says, "Thy violet hue doth bright in view, while spiky head fills foes with dread." So it's like a puzzle now. Okay. Right? So we call them the puzzle weapons. He happens to have the thing that you need to go ahead and insert it. He has a violet gem. Boom! Now you've unlocked the magic ability of this weapon. You could play the entire game and never know that. Never looked at it or figured it out. but there's a whole nuance to a whole host of different weapons in the game. And that's only 2 parts unlocked. There's 4 different parts you will unlock to get the full capacity out of that weapon. So we think that's kind of a unique thing we've not seen before. This is the review board.
Yeah, I thought as a fan of the old bar still you might appreciate the review board.
Yeah. How are we doing on time?
We are perfectly on time for 1 more minute.
Okay, great. But yeah, I mean, it's for RPG players. You know, it's got all the things of discovery and combinations and you're discovering different play patterns as you go along. There's a whole puzzles, levels that are just tons of puzzles. However, we're going to give you this adventurer guide because I don't like hard stops. Which is I don't want to play a game and I can't move forward unless I look it up on the internet, right, or watch a Let's Play. We'll give you the answers. If you want to cheat and you're having fun, go for it. Otherwise, there's all these really great, clever puzzles with them. So we think that's kind of our way of balancing that a little bit.
Well, thank you very much
Very
indeed.
good. Okay.
2 quick questions not regarding Bart's Tale 4.
Okay.
First, how is Wasteland 3 coming along? Is it still on track? Because at the moment, no news.
Well, it as long as you like completely crazed, immoral, warped writing, you're going to love it.
Okay.
Okay? It's dark.
Okay.
And we like it that way. So it's coming along great.
When do you think will it be coming out?
Late next year.
Late next year?
Yeah. But yeah, no, that obviously we're trying to keep focused on this, but people are going to love it.
And after that, is there another old project you will
I don't know.
find in your treasure box?
I don't know. Part of me likes doing the old, and then part of me is like, let's do something really crazy and new. So it's hard to say, but the idea is to keep doing role-playing games. That's one thing for sure. I love those.
Okay.
I did a presentation on Wasteland yesterday, and I said one of the things I love about role-playing games is you can make people feel horrible, as horrible human beings, giving them choices that they make in the world. No, obviously they're not real people. You're not harming real individuals, but you're living in that world at the time.
So it gets real in some to some extent.
Right. So, like with Wasteland, for example, we're really playing that up by offering you these rewards for doing horrible things, right? So it really weighs on your conscience. So even when you, and we don't make it so you lose. I don't think it's fair to say, oh, you made an evil choice, game's unwinnable. That's not fair. Right. Now, other people might know you made that choice, and they might make your life a little more difficult, perhaps, or perhaps some people thought that was a good thing you did. So anyway, I love that part of it.
Okay, I'm looking forward to what's next.
Good.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, you got it. Good. Thank you.
And thank you.
All right. Thank you, Thomas.